Welcome back to the Motivated Mind Zone. Glad to have you here.
Great to be back.
So, have you ever found yourself trying to say something simple, in a new language and your mind just goes blank?
Oh, absolutely. Or you feel like you're mentally translating every single word from your own language.
Exactly. It's so common and honestly, it can be really, really frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, today we're diving into a quite a fascinating approach that actually promises to help solve that exact problem for English learners.
Okay, interesting. What's the source?
We came across this really compelling YouTube video. It's called Master English Speaking Daily Routine Day 1 Shadowing English Speaking Practice from a channel called Speak English Daily.
The daily routine approach. That's a popular one.
It is, but this one has a specific twist. Our mission, really, in this deep dive is to unpack this unique method. It aims to help you stop that, internal translation and start actually thinking directly in English. And it does this specifically through the everyday task of describing your day.
Okay, so using something very concrete and personal.
Exactly. Get ready for maybe some genuine aha moments about how our brains really learn languages.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
So the core of the method, it really anchors on something we can all relate to, your daily routine.
Right. Universal experience.
Yeah, and the brilliance, I think, is how the source builds this complete flowing narrative, morning to night, using just 60 straightforward sentences.
60 sentences. That sounds manageable.
It does, right. And it's not just about, random vocabulary. It gives you this immediate personal context for the language. It kind of bypasses all those abstract grammar rules you often start with.
Exactly. And what really stands out here isn't just the topic, but the structure. Like you said, you're not getting isolated phrases or drills. You get a fully formed lived experience. It starts with, the alarm going off at 7.
Classic start.
Brushing teeth, looking in the mirror, maybe needing a quick shower, then all-important first coffee.
Paint such a vivid picture. And then it moves into checking your phone, picking out clothes, grabbing keys and wallet, noticing the weather outside, really everyday stuff.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the story continues, right? It covers the commutes.
Yeah.
Walking to the bus.
Seeing the traffic.
Waiting at the stop. Noticing, other tired people checking their phone.
We've all been there.
And then the bus finally arriving. It seems mundane, but that sequence is just packed with common words and structures.
Totally. Then it's into the workday itself. Arriving in the office, working 9 to 5.
The standard grind.
Right. Describing the job as pretty good. The boss is usually kind. Lunch break with friends. Sending emails and the computer being slow, which is relatable.
Always.
Making calls, attending those important meetings where new ideas are discussed and everyone seems interested.
Okay, so this raises a key question. Why focus so much on this detailed, everyday narrative? What's the power in that?
Good question.
Well, it's because it mirrors real life, doesn't it? Real communication. The story keeps going. Finishing work, feeling tired but happy.
That end of day feeling.
Stopping at the store for groceries, fresh vegetables, maybe some sweet apples, milk's on sale.
Practical detail.
Paying with a card, the cashier's friendly goodbye. It's all in there.
And finally, the journey home. Walking slowly, enjoying the sunset maybe, seeing kids playing, dogs running around. That feeling of loving your neighborhood, how home feels so good.
Yeah.
It wraps up the whole day.
And the simplicity is key, isn't it?
Absolutely. These are the practical, relatable phrases you actually need day to day.
Precisely. The method seems to intuitively get a core principle of language learning. Relevance.
Relevance, yeah.
When the language is directly about your personal experience, your brain is just way more engaged. It lowers the cognitive load of trying to remember abstract stuff. Instead, it links new words, new structures directly to things you already know and do. your memories, your actions.
Yeah.
That builds stronger, more accessible pathways in the brain for actually using the language.
So it's not just a story about a day, it's kind of scripted to be your day. Makes it easier to internalize. That makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. The goal is building automaticity by linking language to these deeply ingrained daily actions.
Mm-hmm.
You're moving away from that conscious, clunky translation towards, well, almost subconscious fluency.
Mm-hmm.
Like how we use our native language without thinking about every single word.
Okay, but this isn't just about memorizing those 60 phrases, right?
Yeah.
There's more to it.
No, not at all.
Ah.
The real heart of this, the deep dive part, is what they call the 30-day Think and Speak Challenge.
Okay.
And this focuses on a really powerful skill.
Yeah.
Stopping that internal translation habit, from your native language to English.
Right.
And starting to actually form your thoughts directly in English.
That sounds like a complete mental shift. That's the hard part for so many people.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the video highlights that specific pain point, doesn't it? That frustrating delay
Yeah.
where your brain automatically thinks in your first language, then it struggles to translate. It's like running slow internal software.
And by the time you finish translating, the moment in the conversation is just gone.
Exactly. The promise here, what's fascinating, is that after mastering just these 60 sentences in this context, you'll supposedly be able to confidently tell the story of your entire day in English.
Just from those 60.
That's the claim. And the video emphasizes this is often the first skill that makes learners really fall in love with English, because suddenly you can talk about your own life, not just, textbook topics.
Okay, that's a strong motivator. But how? How does it actually rewire the brain to bypass that translation circuit? Because especially for adults, that habit is so deeply ingrained.
That is the crucial question. And here's where we get the aha moment, I think. It uses what psychologists call direct association.
Direct association.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The source explains how everything's organized, clear chapters, sections. But critically, each sentence comes with, quote, beautiful visual images.
Ah, the visuals. Okay.
Right. So when you see the picture, say, someone brushing their teeth, you're encouraged to think the English words, brushing teeth, immediately, directly from the image.
Not picture, home language word,
Roll.
English words.
Exactly. It aims to bypass that middle step entirely, which is pretty much how kids learn their first language.
True. They don't translate. They just connect sounds and objects.
They make direct connections. Object, action, sound, word. This method tries to replicate that for adult learners.
So you're basically forging a new direct neural pathway, image straight to English word. That must cut out a huge amount of mental effort.
Precisely. Think about it. Every time your brain translates, it's adding a layer of cognitive load, extra mental work.
Mm-hmm.
By training this direct mapping, you're building more efficient pathways, making the English word pop into your head almost instantly, like a reflex. And this is where the practice techniques they suggest become really important.
Right. They offer different ways to practice, which sounds good for keeping it fresh.
Yeah.
First, just listening while looking at the text and the images. Pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
Second, only looking at the images while listening. Taking away the text support.
Getting a bit harder, relying more on the image sound link.
And then, for more advanced practice, turn off the sound completely, look at the images, and try to describe them in your own English words. Yeah, moving towards active production.
And they mention this repeat after me or shadowing approach, too. That sounds pretty engaging.
It is, but it's important to clarify what shadowing usually means in this context.
Yeah.
It's often not just repeating after the speaker.
Oh.
It's about speaking simultaneously with the audio, trying to mimic the speaker's rhythm, their intonation, their speed in real time.
Ah, okay. Like talking along with them.
Exactly. It trains your mouth and your brain to produce those natural speech patterns concurrently. It helps build muscle memory in your vocal apparatus and really strengthens those direct image to sound to word connections.
It helps reduce hesitation and builds fluency in a much more integrated way.
That real-time mimicking, that sounds like a powerful way to build confidence, not just in the words you know, but in the whole act of speaking them naturally.
No, it moves beyond just knowing the words to actually using them fluidly.
Okay, so let's talk about the storytelling aspect. The source calls it magic, when these 60 simple sentences transform into one flowing, beautiful story.
Mm-hmm.
Because as they point out, many learners, even if they know a lot of words, kind of freeze up when trying to describe their whole day. Their mind goes blank trying to connect it all.
Yeah, that's a really profound point. The magic isn't just in the individual sentences, it's in their narrative cohesion, how they link together.
Right.
Think about it. If you can't talk about your own basic experiences, the most fundamental part of your life, how can you really connect with any language authentically? The beauty here is that those 60 sentences become your story. They're woven together with what the source calls simple, natural bridges. No complex grammar, no difficult vocabulary needed for the connections.
It's like they're giving you a blueprint for self-expression.
Exactly. It feels almost like they've handed you a personal script for your life, making it easier to step into that role of being an English speaker, talking about yourself.
Our brains love stories, don't they?
Absolutely. We're wired for narrative. We remember stories much better than isolated facts or lists of words.
Mm.
So, by presenting the language in a narrative form, especially one that's so personally relevant like your own day,
Yeah.
the method taps into our natural memory and learning processes. It helps build those new English pathways in the brain, and the focus stays on thinking in English, not getting bogged down, trying to achieve, perfect pronunciation or flawless grammar with every single word right away.
And the images keep reinforcing that direct meaning link. Image meaning English word.
Exactly, that direct association.
That seems like a key difference from maybe more traditional methods that might focus heavily on translation exercises or abstract grammar rules first.
I think so.
But, for an adult learner who has potentially been translating mentally for years, how quickly can that habit realistically be broken? Does the source give any specific advice for overcoming that initial resistance, that frustration when your brain just wants to translate?
That's a very fair and crucial question.
Yep.
The source addresses it more implicitly, I think, through the sheer consistency and repetition built into that 30-day challenge.
Okay.
Doesn't explicitly offer, say, unlearning tactics beyond just doing the method itself, but the underlying principle here is neuroplasticity.
Right, the brain's ability to change.
The brain's incredible ability to adapt and form new connections. The theory is the more you consciously practice this direct association, the more you actively bypass translation. The weaker those old translation pathways become, and the stronger the new direct English pathways get. It definitely requires conscious effort at first, to resist that urge to translate.
Sure.
But the visual cues and the narrative structure are designed to make the direct path feel easier, more natural, and ultimately more rewarding over time. It's really about building a new habit through consistent, focused practice, day after day.
So it's less about instantly erasing the old habit and more about building a much stronger, more efficient new one that gradually just takes over.
Precisely. It's an active rewiring process.
Yeah.
And the brain, if you give it the right inputs and consistent practice, will usually start to prioritize the most efficient route to understanding and expressing something.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, the creator of this method, they make a pretty powerful promise. They say, give me 30 days with this method, and I promise you'll speak about your life naturally.
Wow.
No more translating in your head, no more searching for words, just natural English flowing out. That's incredibly motivating, of course, but it is a bold claim.
It is indeed a very bold claim. It shows a lot of confidence in the method's effectiveness.
Yeah. Are there any, prerequisites for learners mention, or maybe typical challenges people might face that could affect that 30-day timeline?
Well, the source doesn't explicitly list prerequisites like you must know X level.
Mhm.
But it seems reasonable to assume for any language method like this, you need some kind of foundational exposure.
Basic alphabet, common words maybe.
Yeah, probably knowing the alphabet, some very basic common words, things you'd likely pick up in even elementary instruction. But the real prerequisite seems to be commitment.
Ah, the 30-day consistency part.
Exactly. The daily routine aspect is crucial. Consistent, focused effort, even if it's just for short periods each day, that's what lets those new neural connections really solidify.
Mm.
As for challenges, well, maybe initial frustration if that old translation habit is particularly strong. Or
Mm.
honestly, just finding the self-discipline for daily practice. We all know how that goes.
True. Life gets in the way.
But the video does highlight that students who really do commit for the 30 days often see their confidence totally transformed. They start thinking and speaking in English more automatically because each repetition just makes that direct connection stronger and those English thoughts start to flow more naturally.
So it sounds like the 30-day promise is maybe less about some magical switch flipping at day 30
Right.
and more about reaching a kind of critical mass of consistent, focused exposure, enough practice that it tips the scales in your brain towards automaticity.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's really a testament to the power of deliberate practice, especially when it's tailored so specifically to tackle that common, frustrating internal translation loop.
Yeah.
And it's not passive learning, it's very active engagement. By focusing on what's immediately relevant in your own daily life, the method seems to unlock a kind of fluency that feels truly natural
Huh?
because it's built on your own lived experience. It lowers that psychological barrier of feeling like you're just reciting someone else's language.
It becomes your English.
It's exactly your English talking about your day.
So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener, the learner? This deep dive into the master English speaking approach really shows, I think, the profound impact of a simple, focused method,
Yeah.
harnessing the power of your own daily routine to essentially rewire your brain for direct English thinking, bypassing that often frustrating, slow translation step.
It's about building that intuitive connection with the language, not just trying to memorize rules and words in isolation.
Right. And this leads us to maybe a broader question for you to think about.
Yeah, this raises an important point. How could you apply this core principle of direct connection? Linking concepts or actions directly to understanding them without needing some kind of intermediary translation or analytical step.
Not just in language learning.
No, think about other areas of your life. Learning any new skill, maybe forming a new habit, trying to integrate complex information at work or study. Could bypassing your usual mental translation, your usual way of processing, lead to faster, more natural integration?
Hmm. What's the most direct route to understanding and action in your own pursuits? Something to really mull over.
Definitely food for thought.
Well, thank you for joining us on this insightful deep dive. We hope this has given you a fresh perspective on how you might master not just English, but perhaps any new area of knowledge or skill by really understanding and leveraging the power of direct connection.
Thanks for listening.